1 second. Because we started later, we have to reschedule the Facebook one. But I think all we do is say 7:50.
I think I will have 15 minutes or around, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think so, because we were poor in the room for this session. So it means I can start now, right?
It's telling me that Facebook is not going to work, but I think, okay, yes, you're live. Welcome.
Okay. Thanks so much, Karen, John, and many others in the team for this conference. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all whoever watching and participating to this TVeT 24 hours conference. Thank you so much once again. And there have been, this is actually the conference to gather all the stakeholders, especially in education. So it is a quite a special type of conference. This teachathon has been made to this time, and it is actually face-to-face online mainstreaming the education continuum. It means it is all about whatever I say would not be that much informative, as it has been already explained by so many keynote speakers and many other presenters. So I just go to my slides without making much delay. And my topic is all about learning in TVeT and technology, artificial intelligence, that is AI, here I have abbreviated, and the future trend because of all technology and artificial intelligence. So this is, I'm Arjun Prasad Tiwari from Nepal, and I'm basically an MBA graduated long back, around in the beginning of 2000, and later I have I have involved in non-profit making organizations in Nepal for last 20 years around, and my roles used to be looking after the administration and finance department in the organization. And currently I have studied masters in technical and vocational education and training in Kathmandu, and um, in parallel, I have also established one of the consulting firm, management consulting firm, that is Ample Consulting Nepal. And main function of this organization is to caring corporate culture. It could be, it sounds like a bit abstract one, but it is covering most of the things what organization is needful of. Caring corporate culture means I will do my business, making others' business better. So uh, th- this is all from my side, and I'll go to the learning as a whole. Before learning in TVeT in specific, I need to focus what actually the learning is. Learning is, if one can describe it, it could have been very less already, because learning is happening knowingly and unknowingly, wherever, in whatever mode, everywhere there is learning. Even we can say that learning is, even our planet Earth is having its own learning. I can say so also. And in this learning as a whole, what these two lady here have been talking about, they are nursing professional or nursing scholar, and they are talking about their courses, their studies in nursing level, where anatomy and clinical subjects have been studied very in detailed way, but they learn that 18 months they have been learning just to wash their hands properly. So learning could be a bit funny type of things have been shown here. And my presentation is mainly covering these terms like background and context in terms of teachathon, 24-hour conference, and learning in history, learning in TVET history, both in general education history, and national versus international practices of learning, basically in terms of TVET sector, and learning in terms of technological integration will also be covered here. Likewise, artificial intelligence, as my topic is also based with this, and artificial intelligence, like it is about the uh, digitalization, not actually the analogical stages of the technology, and future prospect, what actually this technology as a whole have been contributing in the learning, as there have been so many presentation already, how these technological integration, artificial intelligence, robotization, and so many other technologies that has been coming up until now is contributing to the education. And in background, what I would say is Teachathon is a virtual conference. This is very much good conference in terms of it is novelty, I think. In terms of it is quite new, absolutely to my case, but I don't know what other colleagues, friends, and other personalities have already faced this sort of conferences. And TVET specific education at par. What actually the TVET has been contributing in recent days is about TVET is, as I said, if we say learning is there, we can say TVET is already there, existed, because TVET is a output-oriented education system. However, it has been taken in a second grade or second type of, in terms of no matter people are saying it second class education system or not, but it has been happening as TVET in terms of volume. The students to go for TVET education in relation to the general education is quite less. So TVET needs to be somehow considered, somehow to be focused in the future days. So we are having so many technological aspects, technological resources to get it go ahead. So it is learning is universal in nature, like embryological or even cellular level. There is learning. It could be. It sounds like abstract, but we can say whenever there is life, there comes learning starting. So and why I said this Rig Veda as a sacred book is taken as a UNESCO World Heritage um, a book in where there are so many learnings are there, like so many researcher in the ancient age as a Rishi Muni in Sanskrit or Nepali. we normally say that they are long back ancient people. They developed this Rig Veda, which is now in World Heritage. That is a book all explaining about the learning. So I, without making any delay, I think I need to go a bit fast to this presentation and, and because I have some 10 or around 10 slides to be presented here, and I'm just with the 2 or 3 slides already. And theories, learning theories, basically experts, scientists, educationists, sociologists, philosopher, or whatever we can say, they have established in terms of behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism. If one can say something about learning, we should consider these three terminologies as a theories from the very beginning. Behaviorism, when we talk it about, just we can relate it in terms of input, process, and output also to these theories to understand it better. When we talk about behaviorism, it is about the stimulus and about its responsiveness. When there is some like we can relate it in terms of motivation, and people have been motivated because of that motivational statement from the people. So learning comes in that way also. Cognitivism is about uh, understanding something and materialize it somehow to some level and reflect it, remembering the things that we can say about the cognitivism. As we have cognitive minds play when we think something, when we explore something. And constructivism is about the exploration. It is the outcome. It is explaining about the impact level, whether the things have been happening, whether the input have been well processed and come out to some level with the intended output, intended outcomes or not. That is about constructivism. And Gurukul and traditional culture, why I mention these things are learning has been, even Gurukul is the term. It is a very traditional way of teaching people, teaching even these days. Gurukul have been converted um, uh, maternal education. Like a mother can be a best educationist to her child. That also have been covered to Gurukul in the traditional age. And culture is also all about tradition and things like that. And emerging and modern education system is about what we have been coming up to this century, 21st century, is all about the emerging and modern education system. When I talk about the learning, and I just want to focus, TVET is a best learning environment, best learning approach to the people, because TVET is TVET is practical education. When this is one table I have mentioned here. It is the output of one of the researcher made, come up with the things as with this table. The researcher was actually from the Stanford University in the USA, and he has come up with some output as, when people only read, it is just 10% achievement. When people hear, like we present, just 20% achievement can be gained. Like when people read and hear, like students are doing, they can capture just 50%. When they have some practicality in the education system, they will further grow up to 70%. Likewise, when a person can be a good presenter, can be a good facilitator to some knowledge sharing, he or she can be having 94%. So TVET is in such a good education system where teaching has been considered, because practicality is already there. Whenever a student is learning in his her class, in the session, in the lecture, um, uh, that is only hearing that can grab only 20%. So we can say teaching is the best way. And without making much delay again, what I have origin or involvement of humankind is the history. If we consider in case of Nepal, we can say in Nepal there are so many dynasties, learning in so many dynasties, government from the long past history. There used to be around more than 200 years of age. There is good history, like there was a golden age of the country where people are very much educated, people are having good life to live in the country. So if I see the in those age, TVET education system, it means TVET education system has three types of learning, like informal education, non-formal education, and formal education system are there, where informal education have been still to the same level, that are not coming up to this age. Around research, some of the researchers have been finding out there only more or less around 90% of the informal education system is still in the traditional way. They haven't come up to the level that can be developed, that can be shared, that can be incorporated to the development and contribute to the economic development of the country. And youth force can have their good approaches to the labor market. They can be employed to some level and contribute not only themselves, contribute to the country also. So if we see the history, there are so many things to be considered. It could be long time to explain around. So I just switch to general education versus TVET education system. Education system, what we see most now is about general education. The big chunk of the student, big chunk of the people are around in the university education, formal education. They are seems like a saturation type of education system already. So more theories and less practicality can be considered in the general education. Likewise, technology integrated practical and vocational type of education can be considered in TVET, and gaining knowledge and skills by experiencing. Like I already said, people can learn by doing things in a practical way. That is TVET education system. However, general education system as a formal level of education system has also been also being coming up to have a practicality in their education. That's why what I say is TVET is also there integrated, but we haven't taken it as this is actually the TVET. TVET is practicality all about, and less input, high output, and impact. This is tangible output. TVET can provide tangible output. Working in a field and grow crops, it is a very good example. A farmer can have a good contribution, good physical strength, strength applied to the work and their occupation. They definitely can have crops in their part. It is very good outcome, but general education doesn't have like that. There are even Samuel, in his presentation, in a keynote speaker, as a keynote speaker, have said that there have been so many graduates from the general education. They haven't been coming up to the labor market and get employed, and they are somehow making worthless education. They have making it. So TVET is the area I just want to focus it more here. And national and international practices is about, if I go in detail, it could have been a long time taking. So there is the TVET system practiced in our country in one of the by one of the organizations from 1990 89 around, and it is gradually increasing these days with so many education system like diploma and certification, even short-term courses, from where people can have a quick learning from there and go to the labor market, have good job, and live a good life. However, there are some lapses is still there. However, country itself, within the Ministry of Education and Education, Sports, and Technology have been contributing, supporting it to make it a better way, going good in long term. However, there are still so many uh, lapses are there. Status quo is there to be broken up from, like, we researcher in the future, so that we can somehow contribute to this sector and um, uh, grow more. And there are 7 different industrial areas in our country. Public-private partnership approach has also been developed in the country. TVET in many different names and approaches. It means TVET have been considering, even if in terms of vocational education, in terms of technical education, and like that. International development cooperative and bilaterals have also been contributing in terms of fund program to our country. And UNESCO Univoc is the one of the TVET center in the world, which is situated in Germany, Bonn, Germany. ILO is there, UN body, and TVET and economy. TVET mostly talk about economic growth of a youth individual in the nation, and overall the GDP, contributing to the GDP GNI of the country. And whenever when I talk about technology,
I think we had a connection issue. We are going to have to stop, but thank you very much. We are going to put this on the website, and then you'll be able to see it from there. Thank you very much. Remember, teachathon dot teachathonnetwork.com, and